Hello and welcome to a Monday morning drive with Sam Shipley. So, at least getting away from pole vault, wanted to talk a little bit about mentality throughout competition, throughout practice, throughout whatever it might be. So, the problem I've been running into lately is athletes saying, I can't, and having a poor belief in their own ability to do something, and or an unrealistic belief in themselves that is negative when they prove themselves wrong and wrong time again. So the first thing I want to kind of go through is this saying I can't, and how that'll be so detrimental to your whole being. I mean, it's even tough for me. I don't know why. It's like until the season starts, I almost feel like, man, am I really good at coaching this thing? Do I really know what I'm talking about? And then an athlete goes and pops off some stuff. It's like, boom, we back, baby. But sure, there's humbleness into that, but you do need to be in some ways a little arrogant or ignorant to the fact that there is any ceiling to what you may accomplish. And so, again, this person keeps saying, I can't, getting in their place. All right. Yes, that rep sucked. Let me try again. I can figure this out. It's a totally different thing that you are telling yourself repeatedly rather than I can't. So I might be able to do this. I'm just not good at it right now. I started watching this show, Ted Lasso. Many people know this one. But he wrote up on the wall, believe. And there for a while, I started going on the mirror in my bathroom because at least I was going through a tough time. Having breakups, having problems outside of all this business stuff, and there was even getting kicked out of a meet last year, and I started to get a whole lot of self-doubt, and so I got a dry erase marker and I wrote up on the left-hand corner, believe, and then on the other side it was, yes, I can. So the first thing I read every day were those two little blips. I am sure that having constant reinforcement of positive ideas can help change the way that even we view the world, talk to ourselves, and whatnot. Because at least as of right now, I've been coming out of it. Business is doing well. Life's going well. But even myself and many other good athletes I know, they get stuck in a mental state that destroys kind of what they are. And I remember even being a hooligan as a younger kid, and you get in trouble, and you either say the world's against me or I'm just a bad person, and you keep yourself in that world rather than I am maybe doing something wrong. The world's not against me, but I am doing something wrong. I need to change and be either a better person or smarter with the activities I choose to do on and off the field. If you are constantly reinforcing this negative idea of yourself, then you are not helping yourself move away from that. we're always talking to ourselves, even if apparently some people in this world don't have a voice in their head, whatever. But when you look in the mirror, even myself, I'm not like the six pack ain't six packing like it used to, but it's still, hey, still got a little bit. But that's the way I'll even frame things. Even though I'm not what I once was, I still look pretty dang good, brother. And also, I'm being realistic with myself and what's my expectation of how I look right now, because I'm not doing what I did back in high school and college. Even after college, I was doing a whole lot of the soldier fit stuff, so I myself was excessively ripped and so strong, cool. And so you can 100% have positive thoughts while you're in that world. But I got to realistically look at things as I'm trying to take care of all these kids, all this business. And yes, I need to take time to work on myself. But I don't have as much ample time as I used to. And that is not really who I'm at this moment trying to be. I don't necessarily need to be this ripped thing, but my brain needs to be on in order to teach and keep all these kids going. Oh man, am I going to hit traffic? Oh, all right. Oh, that'll make this easier, I guess. So, what are you telling yourself? Some things can be positive in a certain way because you want to change our outwardly appearance. You want to change how we treat people. You say that's a bad, poor, rude way to talk to someone. Then you live and learn and whatnot. That's different than I'm so stupid. I'm a failure. I've been trying to get in more workouts, but I can't because of blah blah blah. At least you are supporting the opposite ideas that you're putting in, or you're then you want. You're supporting the opposite ideas than what you want. You yourself are not, one, giving yourself enough credit for what you have done, and also two, not giving yourself credit of what you can do in this very moment and really how you're being used in this world. Because as of right now, I'm not necessarily the athlete, but my brain's on point. I'm able to teach and give these kids opportunities in their lives that maybe were never available without me. And so, how are you talking to yourself every day? And is it really advantageous for you to be talking in a certain way? And can you somehow introduce better talk to reinforce better talk constantly upon yourself? Because if you're an 11'6" girl, 12-foot girl, a 14'6" boy, 50, I feel like the guys, we can kind of be uh, uh, ignorant to any ceiling that we may find. I don't know. It was always, if I could squat 255, I'm like, oh, I bet I could get 300. That really drove me to be the athlete I was as a young kid, because I never saw there being any end to any of this. I just saw if constant progress is maintained, I can reach something. So, what do you say to yourself on the regular? And is this something that's benefiting you or hurting you? And if it is hurting, and that's fine. But even then, sometimes you got to lie to yourself a little bit. Because lie to yourself, but maybe even just tell yourself the right things to, again, reinforce a better mindset so everybody do this. I feel like those who are very knowledgeable maybe get caught and very mature, They begin to realize the realism of the world. They're being realistic in some fashion. But in a way, being realistic may keep you grounded, but also may lower your expectations for yourself and or lower what you perceive as available as a solid athlete. I still got my green? Yeah, we're good. So it's almost a complete ignorance to any ceiling that you may have. Because really, you never know when you're going to pop off. You never know who is going to figure out vaulting. I've had kids who come in, they don't know their head from their big toe, and all of a sudden they figure things out and are able to excel past what even I expected of them. So watch out for giving yourself any limitations they might be put on by yourself, not necessarily by people around you, or are the people around you not necessarily supporting the idea of you being something better than you are at this moment. So uh, there's going to be doubt for anyone, even in starting my business. It scared me a good bit to think about jumping into this thing, but in order to figure out and in order to know it will actually never happen, you have to try. Let it be the beautiful girl at school who you're going to prom. You got prom coming up. You don't have a date. And really, does anybody else have the marbles to ask out this girl, that girl, whatever it might be? But you don't know unless you try. You don't know whether or not you can do something unless you get that failure. And even in a failure, you can learn what to do, what not to do, what was right, what was wrong, and all that. So this is where confidence comes into play, even if it is unrealistic. But also, is it realistic to say that a pole vault business will work nowadays? Is it realistic for me to even think that I could live off of this career path? I had to jump from something comfortable in order to really get into this, and it scared me. But also, this is the one thing that gives me more gratification than any other thing in my life. And I needed to jump out of my previous employer to even figure out if this could work. There have been months, December a couple years ago, where I didn't even know if I was going to make it through, and I'm emailing St. John's about if they could possibly find somebody to take my lease, because I don't know if I'm going to even survive. But I made it through, because even with that little bit of doubt, there has to be showing up, consistency. If you are working at something consistently, if you keep knocking at the door, someone's going to answer. Now, again, on the mental state point of all this, I was telling a girl this weekend, when I stepped on the runway, I owned that runway. I'm going to be running down like a madman on this thing. I earned my spot wherever I am. I'm not here by accident. I've worked for this. And when I step on that runway, I get a whole different demeanor. I am in attack mode. I am in dumb confidence and not worrying about whether or not anything wrong can happen. Only thinking about, what if I do get this PR? Not, oh my God, that's scary and I should be afraid of this. What if it all works out? And that was another little thing that you see on Instagram. What if it all works out? Bill Burr, I think, was the one. There's all these things wrong in the world, but what if it all works out? Rather than constantly looking at the negative side of things and how, I mean, I get stuck in it too, bitching and complaining about this and that with the world, this and that, and you go to a meet. Oh, we're inside today, and yeah. Oh man, I wanted to be outside. You know what? It was an awesome competition. I'm happy we got the chance to jump, and maybe next week we'll have enough sun that we'll be able to jump outside and experience that. But yeah, even myself, I find myself complaining, but and even just, yeah, general doubt. But what if everything works out? Maybe you're stuck in a rut right now, you've lost your flow and whatnot. What if this next day is the day I PR? What if I've just been in a rut and all of a sudden everything's going to come together once I get a good meet? You also have to be realistic. If you've been getting constant rainy days, windy days, cold days, whatever may detract you from having the perfect day. And even on a perfect day, you can't expect perfection out of anyone. It's not realistic, especially in the vault where there are so many different variables that may affect the result of a meet. But mentality is a big thing in this. And so even on the whiteboard at the warehouse, as you walk in, I wrote, yes, I can. I just want everyone to read that at least once and believe it for a second. I can be the one to win states. Everybody else has had good jumps. Awesome. My day is going to be where I pop out of states. Everybody else has had sunny days. Well, good. Because when it comes down to meet day, we are all on the same track. And if it's a rainy day, if it's a windy day, they got to deal with that too. And I've been dealing with it all season. It just depends on how you're really looking at things. And lastly, right before taking that jump, I would even say this right before asking that girl out to prom, right before asking dad if you can go out to ice cream. You get a little nervous. Get a little nervous right when you step on that runway. Grab a deep breath. Count to yourself. 1, 2, 3. And you walk forward and ask her. You speak up. Hey, can we do this? You pick up that pole and assume the best of every situation rather than straight up going to the negative, but rather, now's my time. This is the place. And as my dad would say, we're the ones who gonna do it. Put your hands in the other, go, bite. Gosh, that dude always had the wildest sayings, but it was the right state of mind. Sean Barber, he was taking it from another person, but he has a great quote that the sport of pole vault, and really many things, once you get to the upper levels of it and you begin to figure out how these things work, is it's 50% mental and the rest is in your head. oftentimes with the football game and whatnot, I just remember getting under everyone's skin. That was my goal. I played nose guard. I was right on the front of the line, making kissy faces at linemen, getting coaches to slam their clipboard down and say, "Who is guarding that little shit on the line?" Oh, I loved it because I was throwing them off. I was able to disrupt their normal and create confusion, create problems. Their chess game was being dismantled, destroyed, or even just slightly messed with. If you can maintain this aggressive demeanor on the runway, calm and collected, but owning the fact that you are who you are and you're there for a reason, pick up that pole, take a nice deep breath. 3, 2, 1. No turn back, and you go. You do what you've been practicing all along. Do it to the best of your ability. And damn it, if somebody beats you at your best, pick your head up, go over there and shake their hand, tell them good job. But the biggest thing I've seen with all this is when this thing gets a little bit thrown off, and or people stop believing in themselves and start believing these lies that they're being told, or they're just telling themselves. All of a sudden you introduce this random idea that you're not good enough, which really is all wrong. It's all wrong. Yeah, that's the main thing. That is the gist of mentality, and or at least keeping your mind on the right track and dismantling limitations that you may be putting upon yourself and introducing a better voice or even better words to support ideas, though maybe unrealistic, but also we're pole vaulting, bub. We're flying through the air with a bendy stick off of a solid object, pole box, and trying to fly over another object. You gotta realize you're not doing something that most normal people can do anyways. You're something special, and simply having a good head on your shoulders can be the difference between you being consistent and not necessarily a winner, but being happy with yourself at the end of the day. Okay? Big random talks for today, but I feel like at this moment in time, this is the most important to be thinking about. It's the most important thing to be thinking about. And it's championship season, baby. Give them a show. Get out there and do what you know to do. And like Robert Mercer, my old, not rival, but we would always see each other come states. And he was a year older than me. He was always that little bit better than me. But he would say, let's give him a show. And I love that. Some weird thing about me, just remember that all right up to this day. Right now. Just randomly popped in. Okay? You get on that runway, you own it. Take that deep breath, and let's get it. Give them a show. Right? Peace out, everybody. Happy Monday, and catch you on the next one. Peace!